Sun rising right there. There's Big Red just off to the left. Big Red, very clear. Big Red goes down through human history. The Holy Bible calls it wormwood. The ancient Egyptians called it the destroyer. The Hopi people call it the red kachina. And then over to the right, you'll see the blue object right there. That's the blue kachina. And those are being very clearly seen in the skies over Paris, France, just a couple of days ago on 10:04. Now the news media is deliberately ignoring this stuff. Now this image here shows a huge white planet. It has a humongous hole in it, just like the Death Star. I've caught other images of before. I've sent them to you. Your listeners know about this thing. Like I said, we have 8 of the outermost planets of Nibiru in our orbit right now.
Where did these images come from, Bob?
Anthony Reed. A lot of times they don't tell me where they took them because they came off weather webcams. And as soon as they mention exactly what webcam, where, the webcam is turned off. Now look, 0929. That was another good image. Just a little bit further up, we have the, it's blue, 0929F. Next one. Right there. You're seeing 2 planets. You see our sun up here in the very top, and then right below it, you see planet 13. Not that. It's in. No, not that. It's just there. It's right below the sun, right there. It has all the stripes that planet 13 has, so I knew exactly which one it was. Now over here to the right of where your cursor.
And this is some good evidence, guys. Really good evidence. And I know it's been, you may have seen this before, and I'm just bringing it back up so other people that haven't seen it can see it. Now, I've posted about this a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago, and it got taken down. So we'll see.
Is right there. There's the white planet that has the humongous hole in it. Now I think these were from Sharon or June, because June's been catching the best photographs. She's hunting through all of the webcams every day, mostly the weather webcams. And these things are just showing up left and right. So they're out there. They're in our skies. The news media is completely ignoring them. Now you see a huge round glow in this image. I have a fear because that has been seen. My friend Whale, he's been getting a lot of images from the Middle East for years. And every once in a while, that huge glow shows up in the background. It's not our sun. I think that is Nemesis, the brown dwarf star. Because once every 26 million years in its orbit around our solar system, it comes in very close. Now, in the TV show Nemesis, our sun's evil twin, the scientist in there very clearly says that other people going back through time have found mass extinctions on a 26 million year cycle. Okay. All of the world's governments, every single one, including Russia, have been preparing for this since the 1955. This information leaked out through the Vatican because President Eisenhower met with the Nordics at Holloman Air Force Base in 1955. Pope Pius XII met personally with the Nordics in the Vatican Gardens. The Nordics were later turned out from leaks from the Vatican to be the Anunnaki. They are the Watchers. They are the Nephilim. The Anunnaki are very, very powerful. They've been coming here for 450,000 years, if you believe anything Zecharia Sitchin said. Now, I could not find anything going back through the time to call that people were calling him a direct liar. He might have misinterpreted the stuff, the 14 tablets, but they never said he was a liar. Neither did the Vatican.
Well, I just want to bring up something real quick, because a lot of people haven't heard of Mauro Bellino that have heard of Zecharia Sitchin. And Mauro Bellino was a translator directly for the Vatican, and the guy speaks several languages. We've had him on the Leak Project before. He wrote a book called The Book Will Forever Change the Way You Look at the Bible. That's one of his many books. And he breaks down the Old Testament in Hebrew and a direct translation. And according to him, the Old Testament is almost identical to the stuff that Zecharia Sitchin has written about, a lot of stuff that Gerald Clark has written about as well. So there's other people that correlate what Sitchin had said.
Right. The interesting part here, I had to research the holy heck out of this, as you well know. The last time it was here was during the Exodus. The Exodus was dated to 1613 BC. Two brothers, Achmos and Chamos.
But that isn't 26 million years.
Well, I'm just saying the last time Nibiru was in our solar system was back during 1613.
Not Nemesis, Nibiru. Okay.
1558. Somewhere between there. Okay. The Nile Delta was ruled by the Hyksos. No ifs, ands, or buts. The Hyksos entered Egypt during the 12th Egyptian dynasty and were kicked out at the end of the 17th Egyptian dynasty. Achmos and his brother Chamos helped kick the Hyksos out. The Hyksos were, and still are, a Canaanite people. Achmos became pharaoh in 1550, around 1550 BC. The Egyptian army harassed and pushed the Hyksos up near where Jerusalem is today. Okay, Achmos in Hebrew is very clear. It comes out to brother of Moses. Now, the slaves and the evildoers. The slaves were the Israelis, the Hebrews. The evildoers were all of the Egyptians who latched on to them and fled Egypt. Very clear. Ippawar, an Egyptian scribe, detailed the Exodus. Very detailed account. It matches the Holy Bible left and right. So, you know, I have to walk a very thin knife edge when I start mentioning anything about this. But yes, the Holy Bible, a lot of stuff is all matching up with this. They don't want the powers that be don't want the general population to know about this, because their hope is that there will be a very quick depopulation when this stuff happens. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, before he died in 1945, he was the first person to use the term pole shift. He had handmade maps of the United States drawn up showing what the United States and what the rest of the world would look like after this coming pole shift. The technical term is Earth crust displacement. The Earth's crust, just like in the movie 2012, will shift. Now we have 8 of these things in our skies. Either it's because one of them has a really strong electromagnetic pull, gravitational pull, or all 8 do. Now Robert S. Harrington from the Naval Institute, before he died, he said Nibiru was orbiting around through our system clockwise from left to right. Everything in our solar system except for Pluto orbits counterclockwise. So I have photographs going back to April 10th, 2015. All of these images in our skies were very small then, but you could clearly see them. Now they're very large in our skies, and you can very clearly see them from the ground because the Earth is orbiting right towards them. Every government knows about this. They've all prepared for it, including the Vatican, probably the Muslim religion, probably the Jewish religion. I mean, Murphy's Law says they all have. That way, when the dust settles, they can all pop back up and, hey, let's find new people. We told you this stuff was coming, but it was all put down in little tiny bits and pieces. This has happened 3 times in human history. 2900 BC with Chinese Emperor Yao. Believe it or not, he saw something coming out of the constellation of Yin, and it caused the oceans to top the high mountains of China. He had to send out 4 teams, and they had to find where north, south, east, and west was again. That was actually put in the movie 2012. Near the end of the film, you have the Chinese monk up in his monastery, and he feels the wind on his right side. He turns around, hears the oceans coming over the mountains, and he starts banging his gong, but it's way too late. The next time was Noah's flood, Zayasudra's flood. Noah went by many names. 12,900 plus minus years ago. The third time was during the Exodus. The ancient Greek island of Thera, we now call it Santorini, was erupting and exploded. Hippoware's account of the slaves leaving Egypt very clear. Volcanic ash was falling all over Egypt. The only volcano erupting then was the ancient Greek island of Thera. And they've recently dated it exactly to 1613 BC. We've been seeing a lot of this stuff for the first time in 3,000 years. We've never been taught to see our sun with something else next to it, like that. We cannot see all these planets in our skies, left and right, left and right. Yes, you can see the planets at nighttime when they're little tiny dots, unless you have a high-powered telescope, and then you can physically see them. But people from the ground using their cameras, using their video cameras, using the weather webcams, using regular hotel webcams, shouldn't be able to see any of this stuff. But we're seeing all this stuff in our skies all around the planet. Russia is playing around with all kinds of evacuation stuff now. Well, the Russians started building 5,000 bomb shelters in and around Moscow several years ago. They're all set. They did that because Planet X was incoming. Now, I've never been able to figure out exactly which one is Planet X. Is it Nibiru, or is it one of these 8 we're seeing in our skies right now? Project Camelot, this unknown guy, he came out with this stuff back in about the 80s, I think. He was a highly trained engineer building the deep underground military bases. He turned politician, and he outed the DUMBs, as everyone should know them as, deep underground military bases, because Planet X was incoming. Now that one photograph you got there is really good. Here, right there in the center, there's the white planet with a humongous hole in it. I have other images that clearly show it. Now the planet just up to its right, that's planet 13. It looks just like Jupiter, but we cannot see Jupiter from the ground during the day. And you're seeing it very clearly right there. The sun is up. The sun's way up here in the very top part. There's the white planet that has a huge hole, and there's planet 13. Okay? Very clear. Now, one of my friends caught planet 13 on 0708. Very clear in our skies. Not foggy like you're seeing it right now. If everyone on the ground could see these as you're seeing them right now, you would have everyone freaking out. No ifs, ands, or buts. So they're trying, with the best of their technology, they're trying to hide this stuff from your view, either by chemtrails or by other forms of advanced technology. Now, people have been seeing this stuff over in Europe since early this year. But all the papers, all the news, they're not saying anything about this stuff. Just recently, there was Channel 8 over in Las Vegas. And I got a hold of the person that was in charge. The person that was in charge of the station. She had received 2 videos showing stuff like you're looking at right now, and it all just went nowhere. I told her what was going on. I sent her several photographs, and she said she was going to pass it on to her other reporters. She had my email address. She had my phone number. Nothing has ever been found or heard of since. Last I was told by my friends down in South America, the United States and Canada are under a mass disinformation program where they will not talk about this stuff. People around our country, from the East Coast out here to Livermore in California, have been seeing these things in our skies, all the way up to Canada. And no one is talking about them. They don't want to frighten people. They don't want people to panic, and neither do I. I want people to get out there and get prepared. Something is coming up real soon. The world's governments knew it. That's why they built the deep underground military bases. That's why they built the emergency seed vaults. That's why they built all the FEMA camps from the East Coast all the way up to Alaska. Each country has their own way of dealing with their surplus population.